evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeremy Duncan, your host and creator of the TXK State of Mind podcast. I would like to welcome you to the next episode of TXK Conversations. Tonight, we have another special guest with us. She's a proud New Boston native, currently living in Texarkana, Arkansas. By day, she's the public relations specialist for Christian's Health, supporting hospitals like St. Michael. But by night, she's the newly crowned CEO for the Friends of For a Cause Foundation, a nonprofit she co-founded with her besties 10 years ago to champion 7 incredible causes in the community. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the stage, Miss Suki O'Neill.
Hello, Duncan. It is Duncan, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Everybody calls me Duncan. I'm glad to have you on.
Gotcha. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Before we get started, I want to give everybody an opportunity to kind of get to know you. I have been looking at some things online. I said, oh, this is an interesting event. So I want to try to get you to come on, talk about what you do in the community, but also to talk about the Texarkana Symphony Orchestra Celebrity Conductor Contest that you're a participant in this year. So if you would, give us a little bit about who you are, what you're about, and we'll get started.
Okay. Well, I'm just a small town girl. As you just said, I'm from New Boston, but it's easier to say I'm from Texarkana.
Right.
Definitely community rooted. So that's a lot of where my heart and passion comes from. I have been in the marketing communications realm for the last 10 years. Fully enjoy that. And then between traveling, I love to travel. I want to see the world. I feel like you should make memories. Between that and just helping those, I feel like we were created for a purpose, and that purpose is to serve others. And so that it keeps me busy. Work, travel, and nonprofit is pretty much how to sum it up in a nutshell.
All right. That's a lot. You do a lot. So you've worn many hats, from PR specialist, nonprofit CEO. Now you're contending for the role of a celebrity conductor in that contest.
Sir.
Which role feels most like home to you, and which one stretches you the most?
I would say the PR feels a lot like home. I actually just took this role in the last year.
Okay.
And the reason being is because it's very rooted in relationships and stories. That's where, the purpose meets the story. I get to share and visibly bring to life the things that are happening within the hospital walls.
Right. So I've noticed you on Facebook, and through this contest, I've been noticing you've been out in the community a lot. Is that something that you're always just into when you're doing your public relations in the community a lot, interacting with a lot of people?
Yes. I love this because we definitely promote and like to highlight what's happening locally.
Right.
And being a small town girl, I just think it's super important for everyone to understand how the seeds and the roots of the community, how important that is and the impact it makes for the bigger picture.
Okay. And you talk about being a hometown girl. How does your journey from New Boston to Texarkana shape the way you show up in rooms, in the campaigns and the causes that you do today? Because you're involved in a lot.
I would say, growing up in a small town, it's taught me that every voice matters.
Right.
And with Texarkana being a little bit bigger, definitely, on the scale, it has taught me that, local pride can ripple outward and become bigger. And so it's like a dual lens. You have your intimate connection with people and then your big picture impact. And so you basically connect all the people to make, that big puzzle. We're all a piece of a puzzle to make that picture of whether it is, serving our community, making it a better place. We all play that one role. And coming from a small town has allowed me to understand that we all have a different role to play in this big picture.
All right. That's really important. I know reading your bio, it talked about it. Correct me if I'm wrong now, that you are a former cheerleader, right?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. And to those who know me, it's not a shocker.
All right. So one of the things that I picked up on is I want to kind of tie it into that. What's your secret to commanding attention without a baton or with just one person?
I think so. The baton is really just like a symbolic thing, but it's really the energy. I fully believe in people respond to your authenticity and your
Right.
confidence. So when you believe in that moment, others will lean in with you. The baton is just a symbolism of what's going to amplify what is already there.
Right. That's a good. I really like that. I know with my job, I have to really be engaged with people, and I have to make sure that I'm authentic because I work with veterans, so they're no nonsense type of people. So you have
Absolutely.
to make sure that you're engaging them, but also giving them information that's going to allow them to draw into you, so you can better help them. So
Absolutely.
so when you're thinking about the contest, the celebrity conductor contest, what's one of the top moments you're absolutely committed to delivering on stage? Because you talk about in your tagline that you may not be able to read music, but you can read a crowd and they're ready to listen. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So I'm still working on that, Duncan. Like, I'm working on what that's going to look like. But um, like I was just saying, me being the energetic person that I am, I'm definitely going to bring. I feel like I need to do, I'll have like a dramatic pause or something just for the crowd to see, and then a bold, unexpected gesture that's either going to make everyone laugh or, feel alive, just, elevate that electricity that is happening. Because one thing that I definitely love to do, and that is entertain and also make people I want them to feel the vibe and feel that they're part of this journey with me.
All right, that's wonderful. I'm looking. I live in Kansas City now. I'm a native of Texarkana, so
Okay.
my job moved me last September. So I try to stay in contact with everything that's going on in Texarkana, and
Okay.
that in itself is a balancing act. So with you, how do you balance the sparkle of the sequins with the seriousness of fundraising? I wanted to know: is there a method to your fabulous madness?
I think it goes back to what we were talking about, how, I am a very transparent person. I also I try, my goal is to be authentic. I want people to trust and know me for who I am and to believe in whatever that cause is, whatever that reason, whatever that message is. And, sometimes you reach people through different avenues, whether it is by entertainment, whether it is by laughter, whether it is by seriousness, whatever that method is. Once you grab that attention, you open their heart, then the substance of what you have to offer, that is what kind of closes the deal. So it's kind of, you bait them with, the authenticity of who you are, and then once they join in and see, like, hey, this is a great thing to be part of, how this affects me, how I can make that change, then that's kind of like the deal that we seal as far as when you're talking about fundraising, and just, landing that message within their hearts and their minds of what our goal is.
We might have. Let me see this. I got a bunch of comments. All right. All right. I think it went off. I'm gonna restart if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it again. Some clicked off. It took us off the live, so I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
And we'll just start back at the top. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeremy Duncan. We had a little bit of technical difficulty right there, but I'm glad you joined us for another episode of TXK Conversation. Tonight, we have another guest that's on to speak with us about all the things that they're doing in the Texarkana area. She's a proud native of New Boston, now currently living in Texarkana, Arkansas. By day, she's the public relations specialist for Christus Health, supporting hospitals like St. Michael's. By night, she's the newly crowned CEO of the Friends with a Cause Foundation, a nonprofit she co-founded with her besties 10 years ago to champion 7 incredible causes in the community. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ms. Suki O'Neill to the stage. Welcome, Miss O'Neill.
Hey,
Tell us a little
Duncan,
bit.
how are you?
I'm doing good. Sorry about those technical
That's
difficulties.
okay.
So we
It's
want
okay.
to, yeah, we want to try to get you on to kind of talk about who you are, the things you're doing in the community, and tie that into your participation in the Texarkana Orchestra Texarkana Symphony Orchestra's celebrity conductor. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got connected with that program.
Um, I so yes, I'm a local community girl, grew up in a small town. This last year I have was elevated to a role of PR specialist, which is pretty exciting because I basically get to tell the stories inside the walls of our hospitals. So that's really exciting and very honored to do that. And what little free time I have, I could say, I do make time to travel. I definitely want to see the world. I think it's super important to experience what life is like on the other side, if you will. And then, of course, I'm very passionate. I believe that we were born to serve, and I've been very blessed, in my lifetime. And my legacy, honestly, is to leave people and places and things better than I found them.
All right. I can see that you wore many hats as a PR specialist, a nonprofit CEO. Now you're contending for the role of celebrity conductor. Uh, which one of those roles feels most like home to you, and which one stretches you the most?
I would say it's funny enough, Duncan. This is my first shot as far as like I've been in marketing for the last 10 years, and marketing PR is kind of tied together, but our corporation is pretty huge, so it's two
Right.
separate things. And PR has changed a lot since I've been a part of that. But oddly enough, this past year has been a bunch of growth, and it has felt like home because it's felt so natural. I've loved the storytelling and being able to share. It's like bringing humanity, the story of our patients and our associates and things that go on. It's given you guys, the community, a visual look inside of the day to day. And it's really pretty cool. A lot of untold stories that, you wouldn't otherwise hear. That has become very natural. I feel like that's been something that was waiting for me to do. What has been super challenging, I would say, would be the nonprofit role. I've really enjoyed it, but when my friends and I started this 10 years ago, I
Right.
didn't have a clue. It's been trial and error and learning along the way. So that's definitely been a challenge, but it's been a great challenge.
Okay. When you think about it, you talked about a lot that you're a hometown girl, right?
Yes, sir.
How does your journey from coming from New Boston to Texarkana shape the way you show up in the rooms, the different campaigns and causes that you're involved in today?
Um, it's allowed me to respect the fact of every person plays a role in all the things that we do and that we all matter. It's
Right.
a ma- it's honestly finding what fits, who's like helping people find what their journey and their purpose is within the big picture. And it shows me that, local pride, it definitely ripples bigger if we join together as one versus, one or two people versus having several hundred. You make a bigger impact when you can, put all these talents together to
Right.
make one moving force instead of, just a few here and there. So I've learned that, as I said, everyone has their own role and not to expect the same thing out of everyone. And if you help them find what they're great at, they're talented at, they're passionate at, then that makes it a win-win for all of us, top level.
Okay. And just being able to bring all those different people together, I was looking at your bio and it mentioned that you are a cheerleader and it talked about and I want to ask you, what's your secret to commanding attention without a baton or with one? So I want you to kind of talk a little bit about that.
Okay. So I used it's really supposed to be more like a symbolism, but to me, it's about energy. That's one thing that people have said about me, and I believe that too. And that is They respond to your energy, your authenticity, and your confidence. So when you believe in what you're doing in others, then that's what's the drawing force. And the baton is just what will amplify what's already there. So it's basically bringing us all together, and it is allowing us, I'm going to be able to shine through all those people that shine together with me.
Right. So you're one of four contestants in the celebrity conductor contest.
Yes,
What's
sir.
one of the what's one of the over the top moments you're absolutely committed to delivering on stage?
So that's still a work in progress, Duncan.
You're working on it. I'm looking
I'm
forward to it.
working on that. But I will say that whatever it is going to be fabulous. It's going to be bold. And again, I'm going to be like super excited and honored if I'm chosen. So that energy that I bring, it is definitely going to be unstoppable and unmatchable.
Is there a method that you use to control all that fabulous madness that you're gonna have going on?
A lot of it has to do with just, I would say over the years, it's having the confidence of knowing what I want, who I am, and what I can do for others.
Right.
That like that energy, I go back to it a lot, but just the energy and authenticity of how people know me, and what they believe in, and just how you show up. And that's my whole thing is I draw that from, just what I believe in myself of. I want to be that person that when I show up in the room, that I make you feel, and I make you feel like you are part of everything that's happened. I firmly believe in how you show up and how you make others feel. It's just a statement, and it's going to draw them to you. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to make other people part of what you're doing.
That's so awesome. That kind of ties into a lot of the questions that I had for you tonight to kind of engage who you are, talk about a lot of things that you've done throughout your career. And one of the things that I wanted you to kind of expound on is your involvement with the Friends for a Cause Foundation that you started with your best friends 10 years ago. So, what's kept that friendship driven mission alive for over a decade? And how did you get started with that mission and that vision that you had for it?
Let's start with it basically I had a friend in need.
Right.
You always hear, and this is back when before it ever touched me, like you hear bad things happen, and it's definitely terrible, and I always would donate and give here and do whatever needed. But then you know, um, I had a good friend that was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it happened in our circle. And so when that happens, it's not that the other doesn't matter, but it changes the dynamics of how it hits you. And so we just all banded together, and we're like, hey, what are we gonna do for this person? Because literally she told me that every single dime, not every dollar, but every dime counted. It's one less thing that she had to worry with, one less thing she had to spend. And so I definitely didn't wake up and say, oh, yeah, let me start a nonprofit, because I didn't have a clue as to what I was doing.
Right.
But I found people that shared the same values
Right.
and adaptability. And so over the years, we have grown and flourished just by I found mentors. I found people that, was willing to teach us what to do, how to process through this. And one thing that I never want to lose sight of is why this whole foundation started, and that to keep our mission is, humanity and helping others. And that, you know, it's that back to that legacy of leaving people, places, and things better than we found them.
Right. That's so important. Okay. Um, what's one misconception about Texarkana you love to rewrite through your campaign or through your nonprofit work?
I think one misconception we talk about a lot. I think a lot of people think it's just a pass through town just because we're off the interstate. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, hey, let me go through Texarkana. But what's really cool is there's a lot of culture and
It is.
history of Texarkana. And so we don't have to be just a stop for people. We can be a destination. And it's very unfortunate for those if they don't dig into what we have to offer, because you hear it a lot like, oh, there's nothing to do and there's nowhere to go and yada, yada, yada. Well, again, go to our museum. Let's look at how this town was 50 years ago, 100 years ago. It's
Right.
super interesting how we came into existence, but just, I think the history is super rich. And I love the revitalization and
Yeah,
what the
me too.
city
Yeah.
is doing, to give us opportunity to enjoy where we live, but also kind of learn. Again, I don't think you can really appreciate what Texarkana is unless you understand the history and the culture.
Yeah, you have to. And I always encourage people that's in the community, even though I'm not there presently, to get out and get involved in a different event. Don't just stay in your box, but go and
Absolutely.
experience everything that's going on from Texarkana Live to the Parole Theater. I was there. I was home for my 30th class reunion about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was downtown. I was like, man, I wish I would be here because I would love to go to the Back to the Future event that the orchestra is putting on. I thought that
Yeah.
was so neat. And I really want people to engage in what you're doing and the other three contestants because that's a worthwhile event. I know we were in town um, last year and we were able to attend the anniversary events, all the things that were going on during that time. So I think if people just get out of their box and kind of go see what's going on in Texarkana,
Mhm.
whether it's downtown or in the different areas of the city, they'll see that we have a lot of history. We have a lot of entertainment opportunities. And that's one of the things I try to talk to people about if they see me walking around in my Texas Longhorn shirt here in Kansas City, right? I have a Razorback shirt as well. And they say, where are you from? I say, I'm from Texarkana, Texas. It's just like Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. We're twin cities.
Twin Cities. Yep.
And I kind of
Yep.
talk to them about all the things that we do. And I say, if you ever go down I-30, make sure you take some time to stay over and see what's going on. So that's why it's really important. I wanted to kind of get you on and talk about stuff. The mission that you have with your foundation, your Friends for a Cause Foundation, is similar to Miss Katrina Levingston's foundation, the Tough Cookie Foundation. I had her on last year, but I wanted people to see all the things that they can get involved in, all the
For
wonderful things
sure.
that people like you are doing to help with that revitalization of Texarkana that you just mentioned. Um, when
I
you think
think
about,
people would be pleasantly surprised.
yeah, they will because they they think it's just one little small area, but when you go through a pretty large and growing area. Um, when you think about the contest, all the things that you've been involved in, how do you see music, visibility, and local pride working together to elevate what I call the soul of our city?
I think, music is a universal language, and it moves all of us in different ways, but it moves us,
Right,
and it also joins us together. And so I feel like, the visibility of it, that's your stage, the pride of our town, the pride of what you're doing. That's what makes it personal. As we join together and do that, that's how we can turn that into a movement. And I'm super honored that I was even asked to compete, because initially I was just kind of like, I had to give them a hard time, of course, because I kept
right,
going, what the heck? I was like, are y'all scraping the bottom of the barrel? And they're like, no, you were, you were deliberately chosen, if you will. And, again, I had to give them a hard time. But then I look back, and I've looked back at the last month that we've been working on, because I literally feel like I'm running for a campaign office. Okay. I'm just like,
right,
oh my word. But the beauty in all this, again, Duncan, it ties everything together when you talk about pulling people in, finding their resources. If you look at the background of all four of us, the different contestants, they want us to reach people that they wouldn't normally reach. And that's the beautiful thing of this, is that's what it's doing. Is I'm out there talking to people, or I have connections that maybe, because I was kind of like, I'm a poor girl, we're hustling hard. Now let me tell you, we have been hustling for that dollar, and I don't have all the resources of friends that have those deep pockets. We have some, but so
right.
it might take me 50 people to do $20 to make that 1,000, whereas maybe one of my competitors may only need a one person to write $1,000 check. But guess what? We're both doing the same thing. We just went down different roads. We still made it happen. But look at all the people that we're touching, because they don't want us to all go after the same people. That was the whole point of, I thought, well, that makes sense, because what's been fantastic is, as I've shared and asked people to support me and make a donation and support the Texarkana Symphony, it's
Right.
allowed me to kind of talk about their platform when we've never had that conversation, because I'd never been to a concert up until a couple of weeks ago. And let me tell you, back to what I just said, I was pleasantly surprised at just all the different people that I knew, that I was like, I didn't know they went to the symphony. I mean, that's pretty cool. And it was a fantastic experience. And it's almost kind of like, I can't believe I haven't done it sooner. So they have turned me into a symphony lover. And I think that ultimately, that education, that passion, that connection, they have built another stepping stone. And I mean, you want to talk about a great, coming from marketing, that's an absolutely excellent ploy to, put your, get the word out, get the cause out. I mean, because it's win-win for all of us,
It is.
you
Yes,
know?
I can say you have been one of the most visible of the four contestants online with the different boutiques. I saw the different videos, the reels that are out. So, hey,
Okay.
you have to win. I'm sure you're going to get all
That's
the
that
donations.
grassroots marketer coming out in me.
Yes, I see it. I see you everywhere. So, especially when I did my doing my research on it, I'm like, I keep seeing your face. I said, I need to get in touch with her. So,
Fabulous. Then we're doing
yeah.
something right. I have a fantastic team. I've got an amazing committee. I could not do this without them.
All right. So I know you at work, but I wanted to kind of give you one more question and then kind of
Okay.
do your pitch to the people to get out there and get those donations in. So my last
Okay.
question for you: if you can conduct one message to the next generation of Texarkana change makers, what would it be?
Um, I would say, don't wait. Start now. Start small. It can be messy, it can be ugly, you cannot know what you're doing, but start. Do something, because and do it with purity of heart, do it with, have a plan, but it'll grow from that point. Like, the impact will grow from your actions, the things that you're doing, what people see you do, not the perfection. Because back to like this campaign and everything that I'm doing, trying to raise money for the symphony, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm just out there doing what I think I know what I should be doing. I know how to ask. I know how to, I'm trying to inspire people to get them involved. Just act, do something. Don't wait for the moment, because the moment's not going to come to you. You create the moment.
I love it. I love it. So before we close out, give us your spiel for the contest. Why should we go out and donate and vote for you to be the next celebrity conductor?
I would love the opportunity. This would be an exciting opportunity, because I'm really I've really been able to check off a bunch of boxes when it comes to, you know, um, we're fundraising for a great cause, but being part of a movement, being part of a cause, being part of something that's bigger than me. And it's the challenge, because I do feel like I am the underdog,
Right.
and so but I'm very, again, very aggressive and competitive in what we're doing. And I'm very passionate. Like, um, I have a cross between, one minute it's like, I don't stand a chance in this. The next minute is, you know what, I'm going to surprise all of them,
Right.
and we're going to take that baton. And so I just urge everyone that to, just consider what they're supporting. The symphony is more than just concerts and the music. The art, the education, and the seeds that they're planting with these schools and their kids and in our community,
Right.
that is the growth of our future. And they're just doing it through music. And so, honestly, I'm asking you to invest in the future of the generations to come, your kids, even your future. I believe that dollar is worth that. And so I just hope that I am representing the symphony well. I'm representing Texarkana well. I want to make you guys proud of me because I feel like we live in a community that is definitely full of people that we have a lot of givers. We have a lot of people that want to make this world a better place. And this allows us that opportunity to have that platform, be that voice for a better community.
Right. So what's the last date they can go in and show their support and vote for you?
December the 14th.
All
But the
right.
day of, they're going to announce who wins. Um, I believe at the intermission, and then they'll announce that. So, like, I'm going to be hustling all the way up until December the 14th. We have several other events coming up. I've got raffles. I have not stopped. I don't think I've worked this hard. Like I said, I feel like I'm literally running for a political campaign, but it's been fun. It's been challenging, and it's allowed me to see what I'm made out of.
Doing a great job, and you can bet on it that we're going to give you our support. Anything you post, we're going to share it so all of our members, our followers,
Thanks,
subscribers can
Duncan.
go in and support you. So again, I'd like to thank you for coming on and
Thank
speaking with
you.
us tonight, and I wish you the best of luck.
I
Ladies and gentlemen,
appreciate you, friend.
yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
it's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Another great conversation, everyone. As always, what's your TXK state of mind?